We can all check our pulses now because I think we're going to be okay. The Leafs come from behind, 5-2 deficit to beat the Philadelphia Flyers 7-6. Oh my god, I'm stressed out even watching. I'm exhausted watching the game. And it started out terribly. The Leafs have all the pressure going on in the first period, and then Jacob Voracek scores, and it's a 1-0 deficit. And I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of okay with this, just for the fact the Leafs have dominated the first period so far, which we haven't seen too often. And with just under 3 minutes to play, William Nylander off the sideboards rips it on the power play, tipped in by Patrick Marleau into the back of the net, and we are tied at 1. The Leafs actually score a goal before being down 4-0, and we're tied after 20 minutes of play. It's a 1-1 game. Leafs outshoot the Flyers 19-11 in the first period, and they're feeling good heading into the intermission. Second period. James Van Riemsdyk, whom else? With his 22nd goal of the year. 7 minutes, that was not even a minute, it was a minute 15 into the second period. 7 minutes after that, puck comes in front of the net. Who's there? Who loves being in front of the net in the grimy areas? James Van Riemsdyk again, 23rd of the year. He's got 2, and the Leafs just like that, after having a great first period and not a bad start to the second, you're down 3-1. Oh my god, we've seen this before. No, it can't happen like this. Just over a minute after that, we've seen this play a few times now, where Mitch Marner comes down one side, goes across the ice, and finds Zach Hyman backdoor. It works this time. They stayed on side, and Zach Hyman knocks in his 17th goal of the year. Mitch Marner, Ron Hainsey grab assists, and the Leafs cut the lead now to 3-2, and we're right back in there. Let's rewind, though, to the first period. Austin Matthews scores, and the Leafs got a 2-1 lead. Hang on. We go to the review. Yeah, the net comes off. And I hate this rule, because really the net's intact. It's not intact. It's moving, it's off its moorings. You want to say that. However, man, it's such a gray area, and all these rules are so nitpicky. But it was a 1-1 game, and now the Leafs are down 3-2. 3 minutes after that, the Leafs pressuring, trying to get this game tied up. We're feeling good again. Leafs lose a draw in the defensive end. Puck gets to Radko Gudas, who just rips it past Freddie Anderson. And I'm like, Freddie, what's going on, buddy? That's his 4th goal now. He's now given up 4 goals in what, 3 straight games. And he wasn't done yet. Just under a minute after that, Shane Gostisbehere scores. And it's a 5-2 game. Freddie, what's going on? 3 straight games of 5 goals or more. He had a tough one again tonight. Now, we'll get to the third period and talk about him in a second, but we ain't there yet. The Leafs need to get at least 1, get back into the game heading into the third period, even being down 2 goals. This team can do it. With just under 4 minutes to play, Leafs got the offensive zone time cooking. Kadri back to Ron Hainsey at the point, across to Jake Muzzin, and he says in the interview he was looking for a pass, didn't see anything, so he rips it, and it beats Brian Elliott, and the Leafs have cut the lead down to 5-3. How about we play some defense and keep the foot on the gas pedal offensively, and let's just get back into the game here. Just over 2 minutes after that, Jake Muzzin enters the zone and rips it through the legs of one of the Flyers defensemen. Elliott can't see it before it's in the back of the net. Jake Muzzin with his 2nd goal of the night. He's got a 3-point game at this point. What the heck's going on here? It's a 5-4 game going into the third period. The Leafs have all the momentum, but you're still down by 1. You need to come back and score. So even though in the second period the Leafs got outscored 4-3, that's a period score. That didn't sound good. That's a second period score. Not a full game. A 4-3 period. Shots on goal, 16-9 in favor of the Leafs, yet you were trailing. Freddie Anderson gave up 4 goals on 9 shots in that second period. I'm not going to blame 100% on him, because what we've noticed, and I'll talk about it in a little bit, the Leafs right off defensive zone faceoffs are horrendous. They scramble, they don't know where the heck they got to be, and they look awful. We'll get to that in a second. Third period rolls around. Like I said, the Leafs have all the momentum going. They're feeling great. And whom else? I mean, you'd think it's going to be like a Morgan Rielly from the point, or, hey, Jake Muzzin for the hat trick, why not? Nope, it's Martin flippin' Marincin from the point. It hits the defenseman. I think it was Robert Hagg. It hits his leg, gut, whatever. Hits some part of him. And it beats Brian Elliott. And then we have tied the game at 5. So hold on a second. In this 5-5 game, Frederik Andersen gave up 4 goals on 9 shots in the second period. Jake Muzzin's got a 2-goal game. Martin Marincin has scored a goal. What the heck is happening here tonight at Scotiabank Arena? And we ain't even done yet. You know, nothing really happens through the middle of the third period. We're like, all right, I'm getting kind of bored now. Nothing's happened in the past 5 minutes. But with exactly 5 minutes to play, Austin Matthews scores, and you know what? He had the goal disallowed earlier in the game, but he gets his 33rd goal of the season off a beautiful, beautiful play from William Nylander down low. I'm going to talk about that play in just a second here. And the Leafs got a 6-5 lead after trailing 5-2. Look, this ain't pretty. This is not anything to be happy about other than getting 2 points. But man, it was entertaining. And William Nylander, you know, the initial shot was from Austin Matthews, if I'm not mistaken. William Nylander gets the puck in the corner, gets knocked down, and he's lying down prone, and he, with the stick, fires it to the front of the ice, and Matthews is there, and he buries it. Beautiful assist from William Nylander. Incredible job. By the way, even though he didn't score on the goal late in the third period, William Nylander's dangle, oh, baby. You guys watch the game. You know what I was talking about in that third period. If he scored that, oh, how you doing, Willie? Oh, that line is back. That Nylander-Matthews pairing, they were feeling it tonight. And we haven't seen that this year. To see that work tonight, oh, it's beautiful. But the game's not over yet. You still got a 6-5 lead with 5 minutes to play. You gotta close the game. And when the Leafs scored and made it 6-5, I'm saying to the TV, because I'm nuts, Freddie, this is your time now. You've had a terrible game. You almost scored in your net twice. Stick handles it, almost loses it in front of the net to one of their guys. Then tries to pass it out. Almost hits it with the back end of his stick and into his own net. Luckily, both of them didn't go in. So this is his time. He's had a terrible last 3 games. He almost scores on his net twice. He's got to make some big saves down the stretch. And with about, just under 3 minutes to play, he makes a gigantic cross-crease save. I don't know who was on. You guys can let me know in the comments who that was against. He makes the big cross-crease save. Meanwhile, the Leafs come the other way. Outlet pass from Nikita Zaitsev to Andreas Johnsson, who fires a low shot, and that is never a bad option. You know why? This is why. What can you do with that? Can you scoop it up with your glove? And good luck with that. That's not easy to do. Just go whoop with the glove. You got to make it with a pad save. And with a low shot, you're kicking that thing out. And that's exactly what Brian Elliott did. And who's there right for the rebound? Austin Matthews, his 34th goal of the year. The Leafs got a 7-5 lead. They scored 5 unanswered goals. Oh my goodness, I'm stressed. And then, of course, with under 2 minutes to play, James Van Riemsdyk with the hat trick. Why not? To make it a 1-goal game. And that goal frustrated me because there are guys in front of the net for the Flyers, right? Meanwhile, Nikita Zaitsev's... look, I thought Zaitsev has been great lately. And I thought he had a pretty good game again today. But I don't know what he was doing here. He was more or less trying to play goalie for Frederik Andersen right in front of Frederik Andersen. Tries to make a kick save. He kicks it, and it's JVR's stick, and it goes into the back of the net. You let Freddie see that, and you push JVR out of the way, you might have had a save. And also, in the dying seconds of the game, another It was kind of like a weird scramble in front of the net. The puck comes to, I don't know who the heck it was, but they fire a shot in tight on Freddie Anderson, and he knocks it away with the blocker with 2.5 seconds left in the 7-6 game. I know he had a terrible game. I know Freddie's been terrible lately. He knows it. We all know it. But that save, those two saves that he made in the last 5 minutes of the game were crucial. Now, he's no player of the game, that's for darn sure. But what he is a big reason of why this team was able to hang on for dear life at the end. What a game. Not pretty, but entertaining as heck. The Leafs, like I talk about on the face-off dots in the defensive end. Matthews lost it to Radko Gudas. Or sorry, he didn't lose it to... Wow, that sounded absolutely... I'm going to rewind that for a second. This is going to be a long video, guys. I want to talk about a lot of stuff. I think it was the Radko Gudas goal. So Sean Couturier won the face-off. And everyone's scrambling. No one comes out to Radko Gudas at the point. Robert Hagg kind of does a small tip towards Gudas, who just walks right in. There's nobody even close to him, and he rips a bar in on Frederik Andersen. You could arguably say, well, there's no screen. Freddie should have it. Yeah, but this guy's able to walk right in and rip it. So there's that. The Jacob Voracek goal, right off the face-off, he rips it past Freddie Andersen, a one-timer. I know it was really quick, so you don't want to blame anybody. But again, it's the defensive zone face-offs that are killing this team. And I'm sorry, Leaf fans, I hate to bring this team up right now, but the Boston Bruins, who do they have that is one of the best face-off takers in the game? Patrice Bergeron. The Leafs either have to get better at on face-offs, period, or when you lose a defensive zone face-off, what do? That's what they should focus on, because Bergeron's going to win most of the damn face-offs. Speaking of the Boston Bruins, if you guys watched my last video, you guys would have known how angry I was, because the Bruins had lost 2 straight games, and then the Leafs had lost 2 straight games. And especially in that fashion of the last game it was. I mean, it was so brutal. You didn't gain any ground on this home ice advantage. And I don't care what anybody says about, well, the Bruins are going to win in 4 anyways. I don't care. Home ice is big. You go back to the last 2 playoff series the Leafs have had against the Boston Bruins. On the road, both times in Game 7. Now, I'm not saying it would have happened, but if they were at home for those Game 7s and had those leads going into the 3rd period, would it have been a different outcome? Maybe. Having Game 7 at home is massive. And I want that against these Bruins. I think a lot of you guys do. Anybody who doesn't is a lunatic. You want to be on home ice most of the time. And the Bruins lost yesterday to the Winnipeg Jets. And if the Leafs came out here today and lost, I would have ripped my flipping hair out. And they found a way to come back, score 5 unanswered, give up 1 late because they can't help but make it stressful enough for us. And they hang on for dear life. They get the 2 points. They now have played the same amount of games as the Bruins, but they're only 2 points back. 11 games left. There's lots to play. And Leaf fans say, well, the Bruins, I don't give a damn about the Bruins. What I do know about the Boston Bruins is they have 4 home games left. Only 4. They have 11 games total. 4 home games. You do the math. That is 7 road games. I don't know who their opponents are, but what I also know is that they're depleted with injuries. I'm going to go through some of them here so you guys know what's going on. Okay, all right. Jake DeBrusk, day-to-day. I don't know if he played in the last game, but I'm just reading off what I got here. Marcus Johansson, they're off one of their trade deadline pickups. Day-to-day lung contusion. David Pasternak, still on the shelf with that thumb injury. Grizzlick, okay. Torrey Krug, day-to-day. Kevin Miller, there you go. Those are big pieces for the Bruins. Now, I get the Leafs have some injuries, but the Bruins have some big, big injuries. And they have 4 home games left. This is the Leafs' time to take advantage of this. Tomorrow, the Leafs are in Ottawa taking on the Senators. I don't care if it's a back-to-back. I don't care if Anders Nielsen just got a shutout in his last game. I do not care. You know there's going to be more Leaf fans than Sens fans there. I understand it's a back-to-back and Garrett Sparks is going to be in the net, but If I'm not mistaken, Garrett Sparks just came in relief for Freddie against the Blackhawks and gave up 1 goal. He was great. He's got to continue that momentum tomorrow, all right? And for the Bruins, they're at home, so one of their 4 home games left are tomorrow, and they're taking on Columbus, a team who is playoff hungry and raring to go. They've won 2 straight games. The Bruins have lost 3. This is our time, guys. You play a team in Ottawa. I don't care what their roster is. They're 24, 41, and 6. They are dead last, if I'm not mistaken, in the entire National Hockey League. They are by 4 points. You gotta win that game tomorrow, and I don't care what the Bruins do tomorrow. The Leafs gotta do their thing and win tomorrow. Can we play good defense? Can we come out with a victory? Please, Leafs, please play a good game tomorrow. I know it's a back-to-back, and I know they played with everything they got tonight. But you gotta have those extra energy. You're a young team. You should have the energy. You gotta fight and get those 2 points tomorrow, all right? So you know it, guys. That is going to do it for this one. Man, I am fired up tonight. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed this one. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below what you guys think of the game. Who's your MVP in the Leaf game? Would you give it to Austin Matthews for the couple goals that he had? I don't know. Anybody else you have in mind? Jake Muzzin, for goodness sakes. I think he might be my player of the game because I think he had a 3-point night, or did he end up with a 4-point night? I don't even know at this point. No, he didn't. But he had a 3-point night. He's my player of the game because the Leafs were down 5-2 and he scores 2. Were they pretty goals? Were they deservable goals? Maybe not, but they went in the back of the net and he got the team back in it, got the mojo flowing. By the way, anybody saying the Leafs didn't play a great game, the shots were 52-29 in favor of the Leafs. I'm going to leave it right there. All right, so Evan and I will talk to you guys podcast edition. It's going to be tomorrow evening, hopefully uploaded before the Leaf game tomorrow night. Links are in the description for the podcast channel, guys, and for the podcast itself on iTunes. Twitter is also down below. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff, and I will talk to you guys Blue Jays edition next Thursday, as we'll be breaking down the last week of spring training before we get into the season preview, and then the season beginning 2 weeks yesterday, I guess. And as for the Toronto Raptors, guys, their next game is Sunday afternoon as they head to Detroit to take on Dwayne Casey and the Detroit Pistons, and my goodness, can they actually beat the Pistons, please? Win 2 straight. I'm hearing that Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet are out. I got a buddy on Twitter that's been telling me. Really appreciate it, buddy. If you're watching the end of this video, tip of the cap to you because it's 17.5 minutes. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about this game and all that stuff, guys. Please go nuts. Thank you so much for the update there, bud. Raptors in action on Sunday afternoon. Late afternoon, 4 o'clock tip-off there in Detroit as they look for their 2nd straight victory. And as for the Leafs, as we've been trying to reiterate over and over, tomorrow night, back-to-back, I don't care. Garrett Sparks gets the net in probably the biggest game of his career as a Leaf, because this game could, depending on how the Bruins do, but even so, has big implications for this team. I don't care if you're playing a down and terrible Ottawa Senators. You gotta beat the Sens. 7 o'clock puck drop there tomorrow night in Ottawa. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll talk to you guys then.